absolutely exhausted. I got about 1 hour of sleep last night. Left New Jersey left the house at 2:45 to take a 6 a.m. flight from Newark. And then transferred in Fort Lauderdale, took a morning flight, and then now we're actually in Guatemala City. And I thought that this could actually be cool to show you because I don't think I've ever made a video in the city. Normally when I make videos, we're in the mountains, we're by Lake Atitlan, so you see places that don't have a lot of cars, don't have a lot of like people, but here we got lots of people. Lots of people, lots of life going on. So, hi everyone, namaste, welcome home. Yeah, thank you. So, first impressions, it's hot. It's hot and it feels great. It's like a sweaty heat. It was cold in New Jersey, even though it's May. Even though it's May. I'm loving this new camera. Look at that. Even though it's May in New Jersey, it's still pretty cold. Darlene, I look fresh. I don't feel fresh. There was still a cold crispness in New Jersey, and there was a lot of rain, and it was. Oh, guys, I'm loving this camera so much. Wow. And so here, yeah, we're back to the heat. So I just landed in Guatemala City. There were a lot of lines. It took me quite a bit of time to get out of the airport, but so this is my driver. This is Yogi. He picked me up. Hello, Yogi. Yay, cool. He knows. You speak English?
Little bit.
Little bit?
Yeah.
Cool. So Yogi is it okay if I put you in the video?
Yeah.
So this is Yogi. He works for Martha, and you drive every day.
Yeah, every day.
Every day to the lake.
Everywhere.
Wow. Wait, not just to the lake. You drive everywhere in Guatemala?
Yeah. Oh. I have a long time, 24 years driving in Guatemala.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So if I want to go to Shayla, you'll drive me there?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. I know. I drive in the whole country. I know the whole country.
Really?
Yeah.
All countries?
Yeah. All countries.
Wow, cool. So, how this all works when I land at the airport. God, this camera is so great. Oh my God. Jeez, this is fantastic. What a whole world we're in. So I have a woman named Martha who I message her, and then she has a couple different drivers that she works with. So she sets up the driver, and she sends you on WhatsApp. She sends you a message with like a picture of the driver, the license plate, their driver's license. So it's cool. So you have like a sense of who's picking you up, and then great, Yogi was just waiting for me. He was very patiently waiting for me because it took a while for me to get out. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and so it's nice because it's nice not to have to get out of the airport and try to like figure out, okay, where am I going? How am I getting there? Or if you have God forbid, you have to like deal with like a shuttle, which is just really, really not fun. So yeah, he's great. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm so happy you're back. When you got like, I was telling a friend this before I was leaving. I was like, the irony is like, I travel. I wrote a book about travel. I do a lot, but the secret is I actually really don't like traveling. Actual traveling is just like stressful. There's a lot on your mind, but so I'm thankful that just making this far just feels like. So that's freedom. And your kid and your girl, three people on a motorbike. That's freedom to make poor choices. That's freedom, man. So how far from the city? Hi Trish. So we have about a 3-hour drive ahead of us. What's great about this is like if I need to stop, we can stop. And the ride costs about $80-90. Those two. So it's not so bad. It's cheaper than doing like an Uber. There are cheaper ways to do it. Like you can take like a shuttle to Pana, but like it's just like there's nothing better than like you're tired, just get picked up, go home, drops you off straight at home, so, and then Hay un límite, ¿cómo se dice? Speed.
La velocidad, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a speed limit. I think people looking at driving here might think it's a little bit more chaotic compared to like the United States, but that's okay, and that's also like what makes it like more organic. Like that's one thing I appreciate really, really so much about like Guatemala is like there's a real sense of like yeah, it's like real.
Every way has 70k limit.
70k limit.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is in miles?
I
don't know. We don't do miles. So 70 kilometers per hour. Trish, you've never been on a plane? Oh.
Nobody respect.
Nobody respects it.
Yeah.
Nobody respects this people. Yeah, you know, and yet life works. But speaking of which, we will put on our seatbelt because why not? Oh, hey, Star Party, guys. Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. You know, I really love this new phone because now when there's a Star Party, it like explodes and ribbons and exciting things on my screen. So, yeah. So, in order to get there, we're in the city now. We gotta drive through the city. We leave the city, and then we go into the countryside. And then when we get closer to the lake, that's the toughest part of the trip. If you're ever planning on visiting Guatemala and visiting Lake Atitlan, maybe something to prepare yourself for is the trip in the mountains. It can. I personally get nauseous. Like I feel very physically uncomfortable as we go up in altitude. It makes me feel pretty sick to my stomach. But you know, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, it's temporary. Just like hang with it, just breathe, try to focus on something else. You know, I got my headphones a lot of times. I'll just like put on something. Sometimes I'll lay down, depending on the time. What's also cool about Marcus drivers is that you can come at any time of the day. You can be picked up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You can be picked up at 1 o'clock, 5 o'clock. It's 43.5 miles per hour, Jake. Oh, that doesn't seem very. It's like a really little one. Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, another thing I really noticed are the trees. So when I was back there in the States, I had a Meridian love affair. Wait, what was that, Lotus? Okay, cool, awesome. Thanks for letting me know. The mic is in near the bottom of the port, so we muffled your fingers supporting the bottom. Was I muffled? Thank you for letting me know. You know what? I got this cool ring on the back of my phone, so I'll make sure to use that. So yeah, thank you for the iPhone tip. I haven't had an iPhone since iPhone 6. I was in Cambodia and I actually lost it while I was mermaiding. I got too excited. I left it with someone aboard this boat, and they just left it there on the deck. And because I asked her to take a picture of me while I was mermaiding, but and I just assumed that she would make sure it got back to me. It didn't. I made assumptions and I got screwed. So, Adriana, that was a quick trip. Yeah, you know that's the point. Guatemala is actually not that far. Yeah, me too. Guatemala is really not that far. I'm happy to show you this one because I really don't show you this like industry. Wendy, yes, I did. No, I changed planes in Fort Lauderdale. So I went from Newark to Fort Lauderdale, and then I went from Fort Lauderdale to Maryland. Why was my trip so short? Well, last time you guys saw me was when I was already in Fort Lauderdale, so we didn't start at the beginning of the trip when I was in New Jersey. That's because it was 6 a.m. and so you just saw me from Florida to Guatemala City, which is not far at all. So that's actually the key. If you want to come, you can either like take a flight to Florida or Texas, spend the night there, one night at the airport hotel, and then leave on the first flight in the morning, and then you'll arrive here in Guatemala by it's 11:30 a.m. right now. Where I left on the East Coast, it's 1:30 because of a 2-hour time difference. But here it's 11:30, which is great. I'm going to be home, time to make some lunch and Yogi, how much does gasoline cost here?
Around the $7.
$7.
Yeah,
But for a liter or a gallon?
gallon.
A gallon. Whoa. Holy.
6 or 7.
$6 or $7 a gallon here. Wow. Jeez. Okay. There you go. So, you know, that's the thing about Guatemala. Like, I feel like some things are cheaper, but some things are more expensive. I think that's more expensive. I think I saw in New Jersey it was something like $4 plus, right? This is the most cars that I'll see. Once I get to where I'm going, there are very few cars. I know that's crazy expensive. Oh, good thing. Driving hard, right? Yeah, that is expensive. That's great, but you know what? Just don't put so much gas. It's about the same in California. Oh wow. So yeah, so my plans: get home, snuggle Stella, take a shower, chill out. We're gonna stop and get some vegetables on the way, so I'll have some food at the house, and then, you know, just go really easy on myself, be really gentle, and don't try to do too much. And you know, sometimes I even let myself don't even unpack your bag, just chill. Oh, but I would say I am really excited to show you guys some of the treasures that I'm bringing back. In fact, just before I left, I got a surprise package in the mail from Tony Verducci's crystal shop. Thanks to her and Roger, it got to me on time. And so I think I mentioned this in the last video. I didn't unpack all of the crystals yet. I started to, and then I started getting the shivers of excitement. I was like, wait to share this. And you know what? I'm so grateful that I'm back now, because I wanted to make more videos while I was there, but you know, having family time and being with the kid, you know, I wasn't able to make videos as freely as I would have liked. So now that I'm back, oh hi Linda, hi honey. Oh, and Linda, you know, I ordered that book that you recommended, and it didn't get there in time. So thankfully, well, inshallah, my sister will still be at that house when I go back. But that had to be waiting for me. Linda, we were on that Zoom call. She won from the email list that I do every month, a raffle. And she won, and she was there, and she told me about this awesome book called Folk Medicine. And you want to know what's crazy? I got the Fire Cider book, and they reference that folk medicine book in the Fire Cider book. It's by D.C. Jarvis. So it's this old Vermont doctor who, this was back in the day, I don't know, it's the day, it's way back when. And this doctor was going into these communities in Vermont and learning the folk the local traditional medicine and how people take care of themselves, and kind of merging it with modern medicine, but still leaning into this traditional medicine, because that's what the people knew. It's he would be more successful kind of giving the people what they
Voy para afuera de la capital. ¿Quién me habla?
My sister mailed it to you. No, Erica. I wish. It's, yeah. Oh, Rosemary, you got the Fire Cider book. Oh my gosh.
¿Quién me habla?
Oh my gosh. It's such a great book. It is such a great book. Wait till you read about the four themes.
¿Para dónde
Page
va?
103 or 105. Read that. Oh my gosh.
¿De qué?
Yeah,
Ya,
Lotus, the Fire Cider book. I mean, it's
un
next
minutito,
level.
le voy a conseguir un carro que lo voy a traer.
Yeah, cool, Jackie. Awesome. You know, I think it's good foundational knowledge for us. And you know,
Okay.
I was reading that book, and they made a really interesting point about how
No,
these
me avisa y yo le mando el carro.
recipes
Oye, no se
using, apple
preocupe.
cider vinegar were part of
Sí, yo le mando un
traditional
carro a
medicine,
traerlo.
right? And then this new modern medicine came in.
No tenga pena, ahí
and
estamos a la
these
orden.
traditional methods of keeping ourselves healthy sort of fell by the wayside, kind of became forgotten and replaced by these new modern methods and chemicals and all this stuff. So what we're doing here is we're going back. Oh, thank you, Isabel. what we're doing here is we're going back to like tradition, like we're going back to our roots, we're going back to the ways that like our ancestors took care of themselves. So if we can merge like the old with the new, like the best of the old with the best of the new, then I think that we'll be really positively positioned to take care of ourselves, but in a really self-reliant way. Like if you can treat yourself at home and for things and not have to go to the doctor, not have to go to the chemical doctor, like first of all, better for your wallet. You're also more like self-reliant. You don't need to like be your own doctor, you know? So yeah, I know Wendy's coming to visit. I'm super excited to see her and her fabulous new haircut. It's not that it's not that new anymore. It's just a haircut. Hi Marianne. So Barbara, right now we are in Guatemala City, and I was super tired, and I wasn't sure if I was like I was like I don't want to do this. I'm not. It's like, you know what? No. Like I feel like you guys would probably like to see this, so you know that there are like cities here. Where I live, it's in the mountains. Right where I live, it's very rural with the mountains and trees and like no cars and very peaceful. But you can come, like, and many people do come to the city to like buy things and do errands and, you know, have more variety. Yeah, it feels right. It's a lot. And I just can't wait to get home, take a shower, and be in my own bed, and sleep with the dogs. Are there ritzy places? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there are lots of ritzy places. Here's the thing about Guatemala. It's like there are a lot of like rich people here. You know, those aren't the places that I typically hang out. You know, you know, like there are really fancy restaurants here. There are like really ritzy places. There are really expensive places to live. I don't live in those places. I definitely live in a rich place relative to like the poor people around me, but you know, relative to the Ritz-Carlton or even kind of like your average place in America, like I live very, you know, I saw someone say, "Oh, you must be rich," and it's like, you must be rich. Do you live in America? You must be rich. And you'll say, "Oh no, I'm not rich. Like I don't have this." And it's like, okay, what makes somebody rich? Okay, the fact that I like went back to America, yeah, that was definitely a costly trip. But it was worth it to see my family, and while I live here, a lot of my other expenses are pretty low. So it's really like a trade-off. It's like you could consider yourself to be very rich too, but maybe you don't think you are. So like, where does rich really come from? In fact, I met a woman. I remember she loves to shop. She's a really special lady. I really like her a lot. She was here and she made a comment of like, "Oh, I wish I were richer because then I could do more to help people." And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you are rich. You are rich. You go to Disney World. Like you are rich. You drive a car. Is it cheaper than Guatemala? Oh yeah. Oh, and also has like you can get in like a luxury apartment, or you can in a tiny house in a resort. You know, it all depends. Depends on a lot of things. You know, there's no like, yeah, exactly. Nothing. You know, here's the thing, and this is something I've really been appreciating. There's no one ultimate reality. I mean, yes, there is, and yes, there isn't. There is, and there isn't. Right? We each have our own personal reality. We each have our own filter through which we're experiencing reality. And actually, our suffering has less to do with reality, what's happening out there, and more so to do with the filter through which we're seeing last original with no additions, but I feel like the wealthiest person I know. Yeah, exactly. Save up, do a trip to Guatemala. Does that make you rich? What makes someone rich? I was talking to my niece about this. I was like, what makes someone rich? She's like, well, you can be rich in money or you can be rich in blessings. It's like, yes, correct. It's like, well, we talked about it. She's like, well, you're rich if you have enough money to like buy food and have a house and take a trip and like, and she listed these things and like they were all like, okay, so okay, like you're rich. Scotty, I'm going home. I'm going back to my house. Gracias, please. Estoy muy feliz de llegar. Estoy en la ciudad ahora y estamos en camino al lago. You see like the families going by the motorbike. Yeah, gas theft. You think if you hadn't gone to Guatemala, you would have found happiness? So yeah, that's a really interesting question. Because what I found in Guatemala was actually a process of deeper within myself, and that's ultimately where my happiness lies. $6. Let's see. Because that's ultimately where the happiness lies. The happiness does not lie in any external circumstances. The happiness lies within. And so, would I have gone through the process to do the same inner calibrations that I have done in Guatemala? Was it inevitable on my journey that I would do the work for myself to make those internal calibrations towards peace? No, because I'm a person who's really committed to learning and growth. So, wherever you go, there you are. The place I'm in definitely is more a certain demeanor, and like, you know, going to Karuna definitely was like a huge growth spurt for me spiritually. You know, meeting certain people and having certain experiences. So who's to say? Who's to say? Oh, nice, Trisha. Did you hear my most recent podcast? Yeah. So you guys probably know right now that I have a podcast. Yeah, Brody, this is Guatemala City. So I have a podcast on Spotify, and I actually released a new episode the other day. Well, it's practically immediately. So you can find it on Spotify. If you just search my name on Spotify. Ronald, that's such a compliment. So that I remind him of Joni Mitchell, such a free spirit, free soul. Yeah. Oh, right. No, thank you. Please close the window. Yes, I can get to ride a chicken bus. I was talking to someone on the plane about the chicken buses. So the chicken buses are like local transportation. That's super cheap. That's the way to go. But I've never taken one. I don't know if my Spanish skills are up to par, but I think I could. I think I could do a chicken bus. I think I'm strong. Hi, Victoria. Alright, it's about a 3-hour drive. Oh, thanks, Trisha. Oh, thank you, Vicky. Thanks, honey. So, Missy, we're just leaving Guatemala City. So we're still in Guatemala City, but it looks like we are on the way out. David thinks so. You know what, I was reading something. So I really love this book. I have it with me in my back pocket. Let me see if I can show you. If you could find this book, it is very well worn. It was gifted to me by yeah, so this book, it's talking about real love. And one of the things that it's talking about is like the addiction to approval. And that you lose your freedom if you let someone, if you like, even like taking in a compliment, if you let someone make you feel good, then you are like a prisoner of them. So I noticed that in my life, my Guatemala was not safe to live. Where did you get that mental programming? Where did you pick up that computer program? I've been living here for 2.5 years. I think it depends on a lot of things. It depends on a lot of things. Where are you living in a state of fear? Are you attracting perpetrators into your life by expecting them? Like what's your frequency? What's your vibration? Because if you have a frequency, doesn't matter where you go, there you are. So it can be unsafe in the United States. It can be unsafe in Guatemala. It can be unsafe wherever you go. There you are. Because the external is some kind of mirror of internal. Not to say that it's your fault if something bad happens to you. And there's also something deeper there, I believe, for us to look at. Yeah, it's the drive now. So maybe we'll wrap up this video. Yeah, I've actually lived here for over 2.5 years now. Wind in the mic is loud as my voice. Hold on, I'm too sorry. Is that a little better? Oh yes, Elizabeth, of course I would take you guys with me. I'd like to go visit the Mayan ruins. I would like to go to the beach. I would like to go to Rio Dulce. There's also, what's it called? Oh, the place. Hey Yogi, what's the place on the Caribbean side? You go from Rio Dulce there, and they have all like the interesting culture and the people from Belize and
in Guatemala?
See.
Yeah, it's Livingston.
Livingston, yes. There's a place called Livingston. It's on the Caribbean side, and so you get such a different mix of people from Belize, people from different areas living there, speaking Guatemalan Spanish, and it's just like a Caribbean cultural melting pot. And so the guy in the plate was telling me about that. So
they speak Garifuna.
What is it?
They speak Garifuna.
Garifuna.
Yeah.
But they also speak Spanish.
It's the language. No, it's not Spanish.
It's not Spanish. Oh, I stand corrected. How little I know. Okay, cool. And the people, they come from Belize. They come from where?
They come from Belize, Honduras, Guatemala.
Okay.
Some people from the Caribbean.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
they are African.
Okay. So it's a real mixing pot.
Yeah.
Cool. So that sounds really like a cool place to visit. How far is that from here?
It's far.
It's far?
Yeah.
What's the best way to go? Can you?
Maybe 5 or 6 hours.
Wait. Oh, that's not so far.
5 or 6 hours to Puerto Barrios. In Puerto Barrios, you take a boat.
Ah, okay. Okay. Hi, Sinellen. Hi, honey. Happy to see you on the live. Oh, guys, I wanted to mention, so I have a link. All this week, I'm going to be posting this link about the gardening course. You guys get a discount. So I asked them if they could give my friends a discount. So if you use the code ERICALOVE, you get 10% off. So there are 2 courses there. There's the composting course, and then there's the gardening course. This is the course that I took with my friends at the farm. Total badass material if you want to learn how to, work with the earth, grow your own food, have a medicine garden, and work with wherever you are, whatever climate you're in, wherever you got. You're gonna learn some basic principles to get you going. My barrette is about I think it's just loose. I feel so grateful to be here in Guatemala. I feel so grateful to have ended up here. I love this country so much, and I really just feel like my journey here is just starting. Like, I've only been to the lake of Antigua and passing through Guatemala City, there's so many other places to discover. Petén, I would love to go to El Mirador. There's this ancient Mayan ruin deep in the jungle, and you get there by hiking for 5 days. It's legit. So I'd love to see that. I mean, there's so much. Tikal, the pyramids of Tikal. I want to go to the beach. I'm going to the beach, So much to discover. And and it's nice. It's nice now that in so many ways, COVID's still with us, but it definitely feels like it's lifting somewhat. Like, it was crazy when I was in the airport in Newark and in Florida. Like, nobody was wearing a mask. I wore the mask. A few people wore the mask, but the vast majority of people were not wearing masks. You did not have to wear a mask on the plane in America. But as soon as we got to Guatemala, they're like, okay, masks are required. So, it's still with us. It's still like a present force. And the world also feels so much more open. Like, now you can go much more easily. Like, it's nice. It's nice that we're moving through that stage and arriving. Yeah, Lisa, it's really unfortunate that Central America and South America, there's this smear campaign against them in a lot of ways. But it's it turns out Mexico is an amazing place. Guatemala is an amazing place. Nicaragua is an amazing place. I also haven't been to Nicaragua, but I hear great things. I hear it's amazing. Bethany, thanks, honey. Well, I'm really happy to have you along, and all of you guys. I love sharing this with you. Especially now that I have a better phone. This thing feels so much better. Trisha, you can do whatever you want. When's your 31st birthday? I thought you were older than that. You got kids and stuff. Alright guys, I think I am going to wrap this video up. Let Yogi put his music back on. It was very kind of him to turn off the music so we could do this video. I am... Colleen, did I get to sit on the plane? Not really. I had a few kind of wonky in and outs on the 6 a.m. flight because I only got maybe an hour of sleep between packing my bags and staying up late with the kid, the arcade, and all the things. So I'm definitely in need of a good rest. So slowly. And I can't wait to get my ukulele out and practice playing now that I have the power of the strumming that I didn't before. So, and sing songs. I'm gonna sing songs. Bah. Everything you say is meaning I'm telling you it's true. You love me. Alright guys, it's hot, we're in traffic, I'm tired, I think I'm gonna lay down. Exactly, Guadalupe, I'm gonna take a nap. Guadalupe, how's your nephew doing? I think of you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. Alright, I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna do the thing with that like that. And then hopefully I can maybe nap through the mountain part. Trisha, I think it's nice in September. It may be raining, or it may be the time when it stops raining. We'll see. You never really know. It's September. Happy birthday in September, honey. Alright, guys. How much more? Probably like 2.5 hours more. Oh, that was a cool shot. Oh, we missed. You know what's gonna happen is as soon as I sign off, we're gonna pass by some really